This is the Acoustic Brunch heard weekly with support from Bank of Ann Arbor, and so is Studio A2. And this time, I'm welcoming an artist that I discovered in a most unusual way. And I can say in the 30 years of being in the music industry, I've never went to a Tiger game, watched the national anthem, and said, I need to write that down and look into that. And that's exactly what I did with Alison Albrecht. Welcome, Alison. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It is such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
You impressed me in just like a minute and a half enough that I needed to find out more about you. So
Thank you.
this is a really, I hate to do this to you on the spot,
Yeah.
but you think you could pull it off this morning? I don't know what kind of condition your voice is in. I know you've not been feeling
I've
well.
been really sick this past week. Maybe next time.
All right, we'll try it next time. So this impressive EP that you put out, tell me about putting this together. It's a 5-song EP?
Yeah. So
Self-titled?
Yeah, self-titled 5-song EP. Basically, I worked on it throughout last year. And it was a really cool process. It was just a bunch of songs that I culminated and written kind of throughout the time that I've been singing, and it was just my favorite ones that I've written. We put it together. I got to produce it with Chuck Alkazian and Nadira Mawale at Pearl Sound down in Canton, which was amazing. It was like the coolest experience, I think. I've really grown as an artist through doing it, and I think it was just a really cool opportunity. I'm really glad people are getting to hear it.
Yeah, and I'm glad I got to hear it too, because I was impressed, again, enough with just hearing you sing something that's been sung a gazillion times, done wrong by several people, and you did it so well that I needed to hear more. So, because people have heard a couple of songs on the show in the past. There's one, I don't know which one you were planning on starting with, but you were warming up with one that I would love for people to hear, but it's just not very acoustic. So,
No, it's not.
Do you want to do Midnight?
Yeah, I'd love to do Midnight.
All right, this is Alison Albrecht in Studio A2 on Ann Arbor's 107.1.
So I'm not over this mess. Seems to me that you cared about the girl in the dress, changed mine, and so another lucky girl gets a thrill now. Perfectly timed, it's like a grenade in my head. Rewind to the night you just can't forget. Made it out like time stopped in that second. Midnight came, you opened a new door. She's beautiful, you have the nerve you did not before. Counting down, there's a minute left. Say goodbye to the year that's passed as the moment fades. Midnight and day. Fled right to the town, and it's bittersweet. It's what you wanted, but take just a second to breathe and remember the image will start to leave. Midnight entered the room as it struck 12, and the new day didn't care how I felt. I look happy, only inside I'm dying. Midnight came, you opened a new door. She's beautiful, you have the nerve you did not before. Counting down, there's a minute left. Say goodbye to the year that's passed as the moment fades. Midnight and day. Enjoy secrets, I actually keep them late. Confetti explode the room. It's no longer the same year, but I fear you found somebody new. Midnight came, you opened a new door. She's beautiful, you nerve you did not before. Counting down, there's a minute left. Say goodbye to the year that's passed as the moment fades. Midnight and day. Whoa.
That is Alison Albrecht in Studio A2 on Ann Arbor's 107.1, a song called Midnight that you will find on her self-titled EP that just came out earlier this summer, and a very impressive song for someone who I should now tell people a secret. You're in 10th grade.
Yeah, I'm a sophomore in high school.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
You are so good.
Thank you so much.
That is the one thing that really caught me off guard, because when I heard you sing, like I said, the
Yeah.
national anthem, I'm like, wow, very good. And then I heard some stuff after you sent me the CD, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. And then I found out you're in 10th grade. I'm like, I would never, ever have guessed that.
Thank you.
The writing is mature. The singing is very mature. And some people release, early records in their life and they go on to have long careers, and you never see this early EP again. This one I think you can be proud of. There's a lot to be proud of. There's really good songs on here, and you should never keep this out of print. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you.
I've been in the industry a long time, and I hope once in a while I'll be right about somebody who's got so much talent and will have success. But I think you've got what it takes.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So tell me about choosing the songs. You said you had a bunch of songs written. I'm glad you chose that one, and that was a great one to lead off with. How do you filter out through all the songs you've written? Did you have help from?
Well, yeah, no, I definitely. I worked with Nadira Mawali, who kind of helped coach me through the process, who I was so fortunate to meet after I was the first winner at the state fair for their superstar competition. So I got to hook up with him, and we really went through all my songs, because I've been writing since I was like 9 or 10, So the songs that I'd been playing and performing at shows, because I've been performing shows, for years. So I think the ones that were my favorite and kind of stuck out to me, I brought to him, and we kind of looked and was like, okay, well, how is this going to tell your story? What story are you trying to tell? And we kind of took it from there and picked the best ones.
What happens to the other ones? Do you think you'll ever redo them? Do they pop up in shows? I mean,
yeah, some of them are in shows. The other ones, some of them just kind of go away. And,
well, not everything you write could be great.
Right, exactly.
Not every album is Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, right?
Right. No, exactly. But I think even now we're kind of working together again, and some old ones are coming up. Like some of the ones that had something really good, but maybe weren't quite there yet. We're bringing back to the table. So I think that's really cool too. Cool.
So you yourself, you wrote that one on guitar, I assume, since you just played it on guitar. There's piano on the record. Do you also play piano?
Well, I wouldn't call myself like a piano player. My mom took like 8 years of piano, so she's amazing. But I just know like chords and stuff like that. But Chuck Alkazian actually played piano on the record, so that was pretty cool.
So you wrote every song on this record on a guitar, and sometimes somebody helped you turn it into a piano song, like the one I played a couple weeks ago, Not Alone, a piano-based song. I'm like, well, I'm inviting her to the studio. She may want to play piano. I don't know. I didn't even ask. I'm like, just bring a guitar. It's much easier.
No, and I've never really played piano at a gig before, but I just know chords and stuff. But yeah, no, it was really cool. Just sitting down at the piano with Chuck and going through my song and hearing it kind of come to life. I think that's one of the coolest things about this whole recording process.
I noticed we have a mutual friend in Jill Jack. Did she see you perform and go, ooh, wow?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited that I've met Jill. Basically, Jill I met through the state fair too. So she's also working with their new competition, because I was kind of like their guinea pig. I was the first winner, but now she's on the mentorship team. And so I was introduced to her. And I performed at this event called Michigan Mega Jam, and I was actually able to sing a duet with her for one of her own songs.
Wow.
So that was like, that was pretty cool.
Which song did you sing?
Makes Me Wonder.
Oh, great song.
I know. Yeah, it was. And so it's really cool because Jill has so much knowledge, and she's such a nice person that it's really cool to be able to kind of learn from her and see stuff. So then I'm actually singing at her birthday show at the Arc, and we're going to sing that song again.
I was going to ask if you were going to be there. Yeah, she's already contacted me about coming into the studio to talk about the show. So
she's awesome.
Maybe I'll have her bring you with. Ooh, there's an idea.
Mm.
Yes. A second visit from Alison in the studio.
No, but we love Jill. I love Jill.
All right, so you've had all these songs. You've got this EP out. Are you thinking about what's next already? You're thinking, okay, so I got another 5 or 10 great songs. I'm going to put out a record next year. Or are you just kind of going, okay, this one's out. Let's promote it.
Yeah, well, I think the goal for me is to, keep putting music out there, because I'm so young that I'm growing, I feel like, tremendously. And I think I have so many more songs that I've written too that I'd like to put out. So as of right now, there are plans in the works to kind of release a new album sometime soon, but nothing like set in stone.
Full length or EP?
EP.
Okay. I'm surprised, because you are of the age group that consumes digital music, that you put something physical out. I prefer physical. Somebody my age group, I still like this is something that when you go to a show, you can ask, hey, would you like me to sign that? If you have a digital only release, guess what? People meeting you after the show are going to shake your hand, and then they may forget what your name is.
One thing that was really cool, like the reason why we were able to do it was because of Fifth Third Bank. That was a big support, and we loved them. They were awesome. So we have a bunch of physical copies, and kind of I got to learn a lot about putting the artwork together and logos, and I wrote the credits and stuff like that. So I learned a lot in the process.
Awesome. Would you like to do another song from that or one that's not on that?
I'll do another one from that first.
All right. What's the song called?
Not Alone.
All right, cool. This is Alison Albrecht in Studio A2 on Ann Arbor's 107.1.
My skin's so cold, it's red, and the darkness swarms in my head. I forget to believe time and time again. My fault, scream deafening loud, but the silence from my open mouth, and I hold my breath time and time again. I would fall to my knees and say I need you to believe in me so far. Pieces still need picking up. Alone I am barely enough. Carry my burdens in a backpack and throw it all away. Take off the mask, how to be free. Maybe I'm not alone. Chills down the back of my spine, and the words that I say lie as I'm fine, but I'm brought into the light every time. I would fall to my knees and say I need you to believe in me so far. Pieces still need picking up. Alone I am barely, and standing at the foot of my bedside is a shadow. It says, girl, it's alright. And through the tears I can see looking up, this love and this life is enough. I can look down the mountain, I hear God, can you help them? It's through my veins I overcame. Hold on, faith. Oh, falling, shatter my knees, but all I really need is a hand to lift me when I'm beaten up, and tell me that I am, and standing at the foot of my bedside is a shadow. It says, girl, it's alright. And through the tears I can see looking up, this love and this life is enough.
It's called Not Alone. Alison Albrecht in Studio A2 on Ann Arbor's 107.1, a song that on the EP is performed on piano, and that must have been the way it was written because we just talked about that, and it sounded great that way too.
Yeah, thank you.
And you made it through. I could tell you were like, oh, the voice is going to go. And then, no, it still sounded great. You are amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I've been sick this past week, so I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're glad that we were able to line this up so that people can hear a little bit more of what goes on behind the scenes of a young artist on their way up, and you have so much ahead of you. You have so much ahead of you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to be on the ground level of this project. So, okay, so on the EP, the first thing, well, actually, back up one step. I've done this show for, 9 years. Nobody has recorded themselves singing along to themselves while listening to my show. You're laughing, but it really touched me. I mean, I saw your genuine reaction to hearing yourself on the radio, and I don't know if that's the first time you've ever been played on.
It was the first time I'd ever been played on the radio before.
And it was, for me, it was like, I did that.
Yeah, you did.
I affected somebody's life, and that made me feel real good. So thank you for that. That was really.
Gosh, thank you.
It was kind of nice to know that it makes a difference what I do here. So
yeah, it really does. Yeah, it was really cool. Like honestly, that was the first time I'd ever been played on the radio, and like my parents whipped out their iPhone and recorded it, and and I put it on I think YouTube.
Yes.
And yeah, that was pretty cool.
Good stuff. But actually, the first time you recorded yourself singing along to Edge of 17. So I wanted to ask you about your musical influences and who influences you. Stevie might be one, but that could be from your parents' record collection. I don't know. Who?
No, for sure. Edge of 17 is kind of like
ironic.
My repeat song. Like you know how like a song really gets in your head and like put it on repeat? That was my repeat song for probably about 2 years.
Ooh.
And like, you know, I like my friends and I would like, even though it was not current, I'd say I think it's a great song. I think
it's a great song.
It's incredible. And Stevie's amazing. My parents love Stevie, so I think, you know, I've always heard her music around the house. Yeah, no, she's great. And I think she's such a powerhouse singer that kind of influences me as well. But yeah, I love the music. I really love listening to. I really love like Ingrid Michaelson, Sarah Bareilles, and that kind of thing. I really am into that because I think I'm an acoustic artist as well. So I think their music is incredible. And they're songwriters too. Yeah, so I'm a music lover as well as a performer.
You're not going to believe this, but this is actually true. On the way to the station today, I was thinking of other ways to kind of help you along because you're young and I like to help people.
Thank you.
And you've already got Jill kind of as a mentor in your corner, but somebody I thought that would be good for you to hook up with who reminds me, and you remind me a little of Sarah. She reminds me of Ingrid. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if they did that duet they did on that Christmas album, that Winter Song album?
Song?
The Ingrid Michaelson voice is Olivia Millershin. And if you don't know her stuff, check her out. She's from Rochester. And I already mentioned her to you. And she was actually a little intimidated by listening to you. And she's been at this a long time. She's been getting some pretty good coverage. She's been on America's Got Talent. So I want to hook the two of you up, and maybe the two of you could do the Sarah Bareilles, Ingrid Michaelson duet for me.
I would absolutely love that. That'd be awesome.
I will make that happen because
I would love that.
It's funny that you mentioned those. I did not prompt you on that, and that's amazing.
No, not at all.
Those are a couple of my favorites as well. Cool.
Yeah, they're great.
So did you reimagine the way Edge of 17 came out? Because the hook of the song really is the chugga, 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 and you kind of took that out.
Yeah.
You made it your own by just stripping it down. Was that your idea, or did somebody help you with that?
I definitely had a lot of help. We had Brian Lord on guitar, who was absolutely incredible. Yeah, basically, I'd been performing Edge of 17 at my shows for a while.
With the chunky part? Chugga, chugga, chugga.
With an acoustic guitar. And because I'd heard it, and I was like, okay, this would be a great one. Everyone knows it. So I started performing it acoustically, and then it just became kind of the cover that everyone looked for. So it's how I end my shows. And when they asked me about putting a cover on the album, I was like, oh, well, Edge of 17.
Yeah.
And so I played my version for them a couple times, and we were really lucky to have Brian, who kind of, you know, spiced it up a little bit too, and he's incredible. So, you know, I originally did take out the heavy guitar part, and I've never sang it with the heavy guitar part, just because I kind of made it my own, while hopefully still like keeping the integrity that, you know, Stevie put into it.
Well, that makes it perfect for my Radical Revisions edition of the program. And I played it last week for you because I love the way it sounds. Is there another one that you do in concert that you'd like to try and pull off as we close out this interview?
Yeah, I'd love to. One song that I've been playing for years, which is just a fun one. I played it at my show last night, and the whole audience was singing along. This is Drops of Jupiter by Train.
Oh, I love this tune. Alison Albrecht in Studio A2, brought to you with support from Bank of Ann Arbor.
She's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her hair. She acts like summer and she walks like rain. Reminds me that there's time to change. But since the return from a stay on the moon, and she listens like spring, talks like June. Tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights are faded, that heaven is overrated? And tell me, did you fall for a shooting star One without a permanent scar, and did you miss me while you were looking for yourself out there? She's back from that short vacation, chasing away through the constellation. Hey, yeah. She checks out motel while she does Tapo. Reminds me that there's room to grow. Hey, hey. And tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get a chance to dance alone in the light of day? Held back into the Milky Way. And tell me, did Venus blow your mind? Was there anything you wanted to find? And did you miss me while you were looking for yourself out there? Can you imagine no love, pride, deep fried chicken, your best friend always sticking up for you? Even when I know you're wrong, can you imagine no first dance, freeze-dried romance, 5-hour phone conversation, the best soy latte that you ever had in me? Oh, but tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get the chance to dance alone in the light of day? Held back into the Milky Way. And tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights are faded, that heaven is overrated? And tell me, did you fall for a shooting star, one without a permanent scar? And did you miss me while you were looking for yourself? Na 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 na. Whoa whoa yeah yeah. Na 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 na. Did you fall from a shooting star? Fall from a shooting. Na 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 na. Are you lonely looking for yourself out there?
That is Alison Albrecht in Studio A2 on Ann Arbor's 107.1 Trains, Drops of Jupiter, done in her own unique way, and I loved it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing it. It's so nice to meet you. This is not your last visit here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. We're going to have you in again sometime, and especially when you've got, I'm sure at some point you'll have a show in Ann Arbor other than playing with Jill. Which I'm looking forward to because I usually end up going to her birthday show and usually MC that one for her. So that's almost for sure. I missed it one year because the weather was so bad. I didn't want to leave the house. So hopefully you get cooperative weather because I know you don't live very near Ann Arbor. You guys are in West Bloomfield? Is
We're
that
in
right?
Birmingham.
Birmingham. Okay. So not super far away, but.
No.
All right. Well, we'll do this again. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Get back to the Acoustic Brunch in just a couple minutes on 107.1.